That's what Martin would always say, right? Wow. He would love all of this.
Welcome to Martin Monday's Intentional Intimacy. My name is Paula Hollis, and I will be your host through this process. I am a daughter, a mom, a sister, a friend, but in this sacred space, I'm just simply Martin's wife, the one who carries forth his legacy here in the earth. What is Martin Monday's Intentional Intimacy? It's a sacred legacy space where I'm going to come to you every Monday at 1:23 p.m. in honor of January 23rd, my husband's birthday. And I'm just going to share intimacy moments, into me see, about my life, the love, and the relationship that I had with my husband after 30 years of marriage. It still lives on. And so from week to week, I'm going to invite you into the journey of our love, of our life together. The book does reflect 61 stories, and I, at some point, will go through the stories from week to week, but I'm also going to share other things that come up that are relevant as life has continued for us in this journey without our captain. And so I'm welcoming you into this sacred legacy space with me. And I look forward to journeying with you from week to week. Thanks so much for being here. May your whole life prove God is good. You know, some people build sanctuaries with stained glass and altars. Not me. I wear mine on my wrist, my sanctuary. Yeah. Every day, this band, it reminds me of one solid truth. And that truth is, may your whole life prove that God is good. That wasn't just a saying or a popular song by Jonathan McReynolds that we love, but that was Martin's whole life. And now it's my way of remembering. It's my life mantra. It is how I live my life. After Martin passed, I reflected on that song a lot because he loved that song. And I thought about it so much so that I sang that song at my husband's homegoing service. But I also had these bands made for my family and my friends so that we could wear them and so that we could have a reminder that our lives, even in the midst of difficulty, even in the midst of struggle and trials, that God is still good. And so our family, we've been wearing these wristbands. I don't take mine off. I wear it every day. My sons, they wear it every day. And I look around and I see Martin's family and I see their friends and I see them wearing the band, not because they were coming to see me or it was a family gathering, but because they too are having this memory, having this remembrance, having this reminder that may your whole life prove that God is good. This isn't just a bracelet. This isn't just a saying. This is legacy. This is legacy worn out loud. Martin did just that. He lived well, he loved well, and now we get to carry forth that love. May your whole life prove that God is good.
I was telling someone the other day, Martin was 8 years older, but it's interesting that I never had a day on earth that he did not know me. As our families were very close growing up, and to be loved by him and to be known by him all my life and to be his wife for 30 years has been a life blessing that I'll never forget.
So thank you again for taking this journey with me on Martin Mondays. Why does this all matter? Well, I think it's important for us to pause, for us to reflect, and for us to honor what has been. Um, After Martin passed, I was writing on every Monday, Martin Mondays, and I would just sit and write and just reflect on his life. I didn't know that it was going to turn into a book at that time. And I didn't know that it would turn into me being here from week to week. But I think it's important for us to remember what love looks like, for us to honor what has been, to hold what is, and to hope for what is still yet to come. So each week, I'm going to share. I'm going to share those 61 Martin Monday stories, but I'm also going to share fresh things and share, just new insights and revelations that I've learned in these almost 4 years of being a widow. Yesterday, Martin and I, August the 3rd, we celebrated, or, I celebrated, I hope he celebrated in heaven, celebrated what would have been our 34th wedding anniversary. And so many memories just flooded my soul, so many thoughts, so many times that we've spent together. And so I think this is important to take this moment. I'm taking it for myself, but I'm encouraging you to take the moment and to take the pauses to think about those whom you love, who are no longer here, and to reflect. And so I hope you will do that with me from week to week. And so I will give you a story each week. I will give you some insight each week. But most importantly, I'm going to give you a reflection prompt each week, something to think about and something to pause, take a selah, and think about. So, are you ready for this week's reflection? Here we are. For this week, I want you to reflect. What is one small thing that you wear, that you carry, that you hold, that reminds you that love still lives? What is that? It might be a ring. It might be a picture on your phone. It might be a recipe tucked away in a book. It might be a voicemail that you save. But whatever it is, it's yours and it matters. So I want you to reflect on what that is and remember your loved one. Remember the memories. And sure, a tear may fall. I know I've shed mine, but that's okay. Because there's a famous saying that you can't grieve or experience loss if there was no love to begin with. So let's celebrate that love and may your whole life prove and their life prove that God is good. Thanks so much for joining me. You know, Martin used to say a lot of things. Some were funny, some were wise, but one thing he often said was, wow. Wow. Just those three letters. It spoke volumes. It meant a lot. When he didn't know what to say, wow. When he was excited about something, wow. When he was confused, perhaps, or even frustrated, he said, wow. And he's still saying wow through this bracelet. He's still saying wow because he's still saying, may your whole life prove that God is good. And so, in closing, that's my hope for you this week. May you have wow moments as you too are living out legacy. Live in the wow. Live in the reality of knowing that your whole life is good. Live in the heartbeat of Martin Mondays and intentional intimacy. May that anchor you in this week as you build legacy, one wow, one moment at a time. See you next week.
strong.